I'd like to call the Tuesday, August 5th, 2025 Papillion City Council meeting to order. Ms. Barata, would you please take the roll?
Sunday, Mumgard, Gaines, Glover, Fanslaw, Hoke, Stubbe, Ingberg.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. And a current copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in the back of the council chambers. And do we have an affidavit of publication on file?
We do.
Thank you. And Ms. Powers, Administrator's Report, please.
Thank you. Just have an update on a couple of projects. The Fire Department Training Center is completed. That was a project a couple years in the making, so it's a really exciting thing to report to all of you that it is finally operational and completed. And the Police Department renovation project is progressing well, and some areas are ahead of schedule. We're anticipating getting the locker rooms and the external building turned over to the police officers within the next 30 to 45 days. And Robin will be working with both chiefs to coordinate tours for all of you council members that are interested. So be on the lookout for that. So it'll be a couple weeks or within the next month or two for those. They are impressive facilities, and what's going on there is really impressive. So if you get a chance to get those tours, take up that opportunity. But also in the meantime, and for anybody in the public, Joey in our communications department did a great video with Fire Captain Chad Jeffers walking the public through the new training facility. And again, that's a very impressive facility. So if you get a chance to check that out on our city's social media page and YouTube, and you'll see why we're really impressed with that and how it'll really help our firefighters and anyone that gets an opportunity to train in that facility. And then another future project, the library is currently conducting a public engagement survey as part of its library master plan process. The survey opened on July 30th and will remain open until August 22nd. And so all Papillion residents and library users are encouraged to take the survey. And really I would encourage anyone to take the survey. A couple of the questions are focused on if you're not a user as well, and how the library can attract you to be a user. So really we want anybody and everybody to take that survey. It can be accessed at the public library website or in person at the library. And it can also be accessed by scanning the QR code on printed survey materials. So anyone that can get that. And I believe you guys all have postcards that have that as well. So we're encouraging as many people as we can to fill out that survey. And then following the collection of the survey information, we will have the City Council go through the survey results and with our consultants in two separate sessions, and then have you guys provide input on what you see for the future for the library and the direction for the master plan. And those sessions are currently tentatively scheduled for September 16th. We'll have one before the council meeting and one after. And again, that'll be a good input session with some questions, try to see the direction that we need to go with that. And then just one final note, I know I've mentioned it before, mainly for the public, but also just to remind everyone that as of this week, our Human Resources Department did move to their new location, which is the 105 East 4th Street location. And it is still part of the City Hall campus, but it is across the alley, and you do access it through 4th Street. So if anybody needs to use that facility or needs to go to HR department, you do access it through 4th Street. And there's parking out front there. And I do want to thank Tony's crew for helping with that, and Brad's crew in the planning department, and everyone that helped make that possible. It did turn out really, really well. So thank you to everyone for that. So it's really exciting. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Councilman Glover. Second by Councilwoman Hoke. Is there any proponents or opponents? Council discussion? Mr. Sunday.
I would like to request we remove number 7, please.
C7.
C7. I'm sorry I didn't say anything earlier.
Oh, no, that's fine. C7 is pulled. Any others? Please vote on everything except C7.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item C7, Resolution R250152, a resolution to approve Amendment 2 to the Professional Design Agreement for Halleck Park Road Design in the amount of $111,147 with JEO Consulting Group. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R250152? Motion by Councilman Ingberg. Second by Councilman Stube. Council discussion. Mr. Sunday.
Thank you. I would just like to ask Mr. Kleffner a few questions if he's here.
We'll have Mr. Sturzma step in because I think he had a conflict.
Okay,
Out sick. Mr. Sturzma.
fair enough. I'm just not clear on what exactly has changed in terms of what we're expecting this contractor to do. What came up that changed, that necessitated this additional expenditure?
So, certainly. This is to add in the addition of Lincoln Road from the edge of the park to Washington Street, because that's not a park. It has to be funded from a different funding source. We can't use the half-cent sales tax, for example, because it's not part of the park system. So that's what this does. It adds that segment to include it in that overall project.
Anything else? Okay. Any other discussion? If not, please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item D1, Ordinance 2063, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget. Is there a council member that will introduce? Introduced by Councilman Fanslaw. Item F1, Ordinance 2062. There's 4 related items. This is the first one. An ordinance to approve a change of zone from R4 multifamily residential to R4 PUD2 multifamily residential with a specific planned unit development overlay for the property legally described as a replat of lots 310 through 407 inclusive and outlots G through I inclusive, Belterra, generally located on the southwest corner, South 114th and Schramm Road. The applicant's Felker Family Farms, LLC, Belterra Replat 1. Is there a motion to approve Ordinance 2062? Motion by Councilman Glover, second by Councilwoman Hoke. Any council discussion? If not, please vote.
Seven yeas, 1 nay by Councilman Sunday.
Motion passes. Related item number 2, F2, Resolution R250147, a resolution to approve a final plat for the property legally described as a replat of lots 310 to 407 inclusive and outlots G through I inclusive, Belterra, generally located on the southwest corner, South 114th Street, Schramm Road. The applicant's Felker Family Farms, LLC. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R250147? Motion by Councilwoman Hoke. Second by Councilman Fanslow. Any proponents or opponents? I will note that the applicant's representatives are here. Any council discussion? Mr. Mumgard.
Yeah, we had a nice discussion about this at our last meeting, and it has a very nice area, very nice development. It has PUDs, planned urban development areas, that would have 5-foot setbacks. We had quite a discussion about, well, what will be in the areas with 5-foot setbacks, and we learned that the housing that will be in that area will largely remain in the same price tag as in the 10-foot setback area, with the explanation of, oh yeah, these will be smaller, but boy, they'll be very deluxe, and they'll still cost for the buyer about the same. Well, I expressed my view that that's not the direction I want to go with modifying our setback rules. That if we're going to have smaller setbacks, I like them in PUDs. I think this is a very good idea. I don't have any problem with the way the platting is, but I don't think that it is acceptable for us. I don't think that going with the 5-foot setbacks and maintaining the same high price tag benefits the people of the Papillion, benefits Papillion in having enhanced wider variety of houses. So I'm going to have to vote against this.
Thank you. Any other discussion? If not, please vote.
6 yeas, 2 nays by Councilman Sunday and Mumgarden.
Motion passes. Related item, F3, Resolution R250148, a public hearing and a vote. Resolution to approve the Fifth Amendment to the Belterra subdivision agreement. It's a public hearing. I'll open it. Any proponents?
Members of the council, Larry Jobin, 11440 West Center Road, appearing on behalf of the developer. With me tonight is Jason Thielen of E&A Consulting, the consulting engineers on this particular project. We're really here for questions. Obviously, the subdivision agreement is the typical standard agreement that we have between the developer, the SID, and the city regarding the public improvements and how they're paid for. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any other proponents or opponents? Close the public hearing. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R250148? Motion by Councilman Ingberg, second by Councilman Stube. Council discussion. Please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. And the last of the related items, F4, Resolution R250149, a public hearing and a vote. A resolution to approve the First Amendment to the Belterra Planned Unit Development Agreement. It's a public hearing. Any proponents? Recognize you're here.
Members of the council, Larry Jobin, 11440 West Center Road, appearing on behalf of the development and the developer. This is the PUD that calls out the site layout, the material choices, the color palette, all of the other various requirements that are within the PUD, the amenities, the park amenities, et cetera. So with that, I think we had quite a bit of a discussion a few weeks ago when we were here last, so I'm just here for questions.
Any other proponents or opponents? Close the public hearing. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R250149? Motion by Councilman Fanslow. Second by Councilman Stube. Discussion. Please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F5, Resolution R250150, a public hearing and a vote. A resolution to approve the First Amendment to the Ponderosa Place subdivision agreement. It's a public hearing. I'll open it. Proponents.
Evening, Jason Thielen, E&A Consulting Group, 10909 Mill Valley Road, Suite 100, here on behalf of the applicant. This is a situation where our bid came in over what we anticipated. It is not over the overall 10% allowed within the statute of the SID, but that item itself was just a little bit over, and so we're asking for that amendment to that. Here for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any other proponents or opponents? Close the public hearing. Motion to approve Resolution R250150. Motion by Councilman Gaines. Second by Councilman Glover. Any discussion? Please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item F6, Resolution R250151, a resolution to approve the downtown Papillion redevelopment contract with Urban Waters pursuant to the Nebraska Community Redevelopment Law. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R250151? Motion by Councilman Ingberg. Second by Councilman Hoke. There is a staff request for a motion to amend. You do have it at your table. It's noted as the resolution, and the red line version is in section 6 on page 2. A fairly routine request. The agreement is with a specific entity of the developers, and there is the potential that entity may change, but it's still a related entity that's under the control of the developer. So they just want a standard clause that gives us administrative approval to approve that reassignment without having to come back to council. But for the record, I'll go ahead and read it. Without limiting, so this would be to amend section 6 of the resolution. Without limiting the foregoing, the mayor and city clerk or any of them are explicitly authorized to enter into and execute any consent on behalf of the city pertaining to redeveloper's assignment of the redevelopment contract, the TIF note, and or the purchase and sale agreement entered into between redeveloper and the city with respect to the site of the redevelopment project set forth under the redevelopment contract to an entity that is wholly owned and under the exclusive control of the redeveloper or the redeveloper's principals without further consideration or approval of the city council. Is there a motion to amend? Motion by Councilman Ingberg, second by Councilman Stube. Any council discussion on the motion to amend? Seeing none, please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
So motion is amended. Any proponents or opponents on the motion as amended? I will note that the applicant's representative is here. Any council discussion? Please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Thank you. It's been a long time coming. Appreciate it. Appreciate the partnership. Thanks for all the work. It's all the regular agenda items. No committees have met, so there's no reports from committees. Any comments from the floor? Yes. And if you'd come up to the podium. And if you'd state your name and address for the record. And public hearings, 3 minutes to speak. And because what you're going to talk about was not on the published agenda, we are not allowed to respond to your comments. But you're free to 3 minutes.
Okay,
Welcome.
I'll try and do this. My name is Mitzi DeTavernier, and I live at 807 Lexington Lane in Papillion. And I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me and tell you about my experience. On July 5th at 3:30 in the afternoon, while on a walk and only 5 houses down and around the corner from our house, our 8-pound Yorkie, Roxy, was attacked by a neighbor's dog that broke through their 6-foot privacy fence and mauled our dog. My husband had to restrain the attacking dog by the collar, yell until the owner heard him, and to come out and get his dog before he can even help our dog. Roxy had both lungs punctured, all her ribs broken, and her stomach punctured also. She didn't survive. We were devastated, and what made it even worse was when we were told that nothing would be done other than a ticket issued to the owner. And that owner also had an incident a year ago, which the Humane Society didn't know about, but we did. Papillion currently has an ordinance that allows a dog that kills another one to remain in their home until it's proven guilty in court, even if the offending dog may be dangerous. In our neighborhoods and in our streets, we probably walk by these dogs every day and we think it's safe. We assume it is, but it's not. I'm asking that the City Council change its ordinance on potentially dangerous dogs and give law enforcement and animal control department and/or the immediate authority to hold any animal where probable cause is shown that it could be potentially dangerous to the public and that all reside in our homes with us. When another domestic animal is killed, there should be probable cause to believe that that dog is dangerous. I've heard from numerous other residents of Sarpy and Douglas County, and because so many feel that nothing is done, bites and attacks like this, and I've heard numerous, are not even reported. And this dog, as I said before, had bitten before. I must admit that I felt the same way. We were heartbroken when Roxy was killed, and it seemed like it didn't matter except to us. But I found out that people do care. They care a lot. Every pet owner wants their pet to be safe on our streets. In our case, the owner received a citation for owner liability and no restraint. They surrendered the dog, but our law said that they didn't have to. They didn't have to do anything until they went to court, and even then, maybe not. I'd like Papillion City Council, Papillion Police, and all the residents to remind everybody to always report incidents when there's a dog bite, and then it'll be on record with the Humane Society. And for you, I'd like your help in changing our ordinances and making them stronger on dogs that kill. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, and while we can't respond directly, I do understand you visited with one council member, at least one, and so he'll keep you updated because there are some conversations occurring.
City police are awesome.
So,
Not a lot of good things to say about the Humane Society.
so there are some conversations going on, so he'll keep you updated. Thank you. Any council comments? Just a couple things from the last couple of weeks. As you know, we got a new executive director in the foundation, Angie Bruna, and so we spent quite a bit of time with her in the last 2 weeks, just trying to orient her a little bit to key contacts within the city, so she knows she has an open door and knows who to visit with on city-related items. Gave her a little bit of history on the contract we've got, so that was very good. Looking forward to working with her. Mr. Sturzma, Ms. Powers, and I, we had a meeting with Cox Cable and Charter. They came in to make us aware that there's a merger. I don't know if it's a merger or a takeover, but Cox, I think, charter's becoming Cox, I think is the way it is. And so they wanted to make us aware of that. My biggest question is, are you going to come through and pull fiber through all of our right-of-way? Because that'll be pretty disruptive. And they said no. They're using the existing infrastructure. The most that they will probably do is put some signal boosters periodically, like on poles and that type of stuff, but they are not replacing the Cox infrastructure. So I think that's good news from what we've been going through the last couple of years. But you'll be probably hearing more and more about that. They've got to go through a lot of regulatory approval processes at the federal level, so it's probably 12 to 18 months away, if I remember right. But if you hear anything about that, we have direct contact with both the Cox and Charter government representatives. So let us know if you have any questions and you hear anything, and we can try to get those answered. Had a wastewater agency meeting, pretty routine this month. Nothing major came out of that. Attended the planning commission meeting and swore in the 2 new planning commissioners that you would approved. And then we had a United Cities meeting this week, and the biggest thing there was thinking through if there was any legislation that needed to be brought forward. Most of the legislation brought forward were ideas that La Vista had, but they were ones we would end up supporting. So as we learn more about that, we'll share that with you. And then if you remember 2-3 years ago, there was a big discussion and I think some lawsuits around OPPD pilot fees that come to Sarpy County and how those are distributed, and some end up going back to Douglas County when we think they should stay in Sarpy. Changing that formula is actually probably a constitutional item, but we raised that in the United Cities, do some research and see maybe should we be the impetus behind that change. That won't happen in the next session, but we want to start that. So again, if you have ideas for legislative changes, it's not too early to be letting us know. This is the second year of the biennium, so probably not a lot of things would get introduced, but it's not too soon to start research for the next biennium. So keep us informed if there's anything you need there. Ms. Powers already mentioned the police and fire tours, so watch for that in the next probably couple of weeks. See how opportunity to see those facilities. We do have a closed session tonight, so is there a motion to go into closed session to protect the public interest to discuss potential litigation and personnel matters? Motion by Councilman Fanslow. Second by Councilman Glover. Any proponents or opponents? Council discussion. Please vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
I'll state for the record and for the purpose of the closed session is only to discuss potential litigation and personnel matters. Closed session will include the mayor, city council, city administrator, deputy city administrator, deputy city clerk, city attorney, human resources director, and police chief.